Alright, good evening again. I don't know how many times I've done this over the few days, and I keep losing power, but here we go again because we need to get this turned in. My name is Paul, and I am going to be talking about holistic health. Now, the overview is going to be covering is the history and philosophy of holism and vitalism. Then next will be the comparison of holistic and medical conventional medical paradigms, which is not just a comparison, but also the contrasting. Then there's going to be the determinants of holistic health, as well as the holistic approaches to post-traumatic stress disorder, which would be the personal health concern. Now, jumping into the holism history, it was first coined by a guy named Jan Christian Smuts. He coined the term holism, but it actually stemmed from a Greek name called holos. Now, and that was in 1925. But yeah, this goes way this holism medical knowledge actually went way back in ancient times in Mesopotamia, where it was the center place of civilization, and then later on it was taught to the Egyptian priests, which were your physicians. Which then later on the Greeks came down, which is the Greeks' physicians, which would be their priests, and they worked along with the Egyptians until they gained the knowledge. They went back and did their stuff. Now, the philosophy of holism is that it is any doctrine that gives priority or emphasis over the whole being rather than its individual components. Now, vitalism, it was actually first expressed by a Swedish physician named George Ernst in 1660, who dispensed that spirits are between immaterial and material realms. I would say realms. But he also worked with another physician called Paracelsus. Now, to hop into what happened is that the vitalism was weakened and it retreated before new scientific discovery could come about. But later on in the 19th century, vitalism popped back out and everyone believed it's something that's new, but it's not. But now it slips into your alternative medicine along with the other vitalism forms. Now, the philosophy of vitalism is itself life. It's the life force within everything. You, me, rock, plant, dirt, bug, tree, everything is in its universal energy. And that is pretty much how that works. Or another way you can say it is that it's the energy force within inanimate and animate matter. Now, when it comes to the comparing and contrasting of holism and reductionism, which we know the holism, there's your vitalism, and your reduction is your mechanicism. They both work for the same goal, and that is to fix, cure, treat what's going on with the being. Now, holism obviously does it as a whole. It wants to find out what's going on with the body, the spirit, and the mind, because if you can fix that, boom, the whole body is fixed. Now, reductionism, it breaks it down to the lowest level you can possibly get, hence the word reductionism. Then it also has your mechanicism part, which you want to be able to figure out how each different component that it breaks it down works and why it does what it does, and if there's something wrong, how do we fix it? So they both work to fix things and to restore a balance, but one goes way too deep, that has to have physical hands-on, versus the other one is more of your, well, holistic care, more of your whole view, your vitalism as well. Anyways, next is going to be your determinants of health, and that's going to be the physical environment, economic and social environments, and the behaviors that are in them that can cause stressors that can be able to help, that not help out would be either your genetics, your gender, your health services, or even your social support. Now, with the post-traumatic stress, the elements that help that to get set off would be more of your social environments, your physical environments, and even education and financial behaviors. With that, in order to kind of help that out, you want to be able to do meditation, yoga, swimming, other types of care, even Tai Chi would work great. And it would be able to restore clarity, reduce anxiety and stress, and also better control of emotions and your better mood and proper diet. And now the next one would be is that the history about the post-traumatic stress is that it was an onslaught of military war, which later on to find out that in order to holistically explain it, it was an imbalance between the spirit, mind, and body. It was out of whack. until it was able to be put together by treating it with yoga and Tai Chi and different types of aromatherapy to soothe the mind, body, and spirit to reconnect it. And that's mine.